Hello, my pretties. So today on this sparkly spooky collab, or spooky sparkly collab, we are going to be making these sparkly spider earrings. Yeah, I know they're spiders. I'm not a big spider fan either, but they're great for Halloween. And they're pretty besides. So this is not entirely my design. I found this off what used to be an online store called Fusion Beads, and they're no longer in business. That's a recent kind of thing, but their pattern was still there, so you can still find it online. Now I changed it up a little bit in that I added Swarovski crystals in the middle here, and they use Swarovski rounds on the top and bottom, but I didn't have any, so I used glass beads there. And I made my own ear wire with a Swarovski crystal little mini bicone, which I did have, and their colorway was a little different and things like that, so I used what I had. And ironically, I had these bugle beads that were from Fusion Beads, and I bought them like way back in 2012, I think. And they are silver 6mm, which was called for 6mm, silver line transparent gray Japanese bugle beads. And I had bought two 10-gram bags, so I have those, which worked out perfectly. And then I had a pack of the 5328 is Swarovski, so Swarovski jet black bicones. Anyway, I think they used a color that more closely matched the transparent gray bugle beads or whatever they used. You need some 2-inch, I used 21 gauge head pins, they worked fine. You need a couple, about 4 or 5 actually, 4. 2-inch, I used 21 gauge again, eye pins, excuse me. And then if you have Swarovski or some kind of crystal rounds in a matching color, you can use them. But I had this bag from Oriental Trading of mixed glass black beads, 6 to 10 millimeters, so I pulled out some 6 and 8 millimeters of those. This is my little helping hand pen, and my other kitty cat pen. Yeah, my little solar guy that was still in the wrapper. Anyway, so here's what you have to do. You need more of these head pins than you do the eye pins. So, oh, and you need black number 11 seed beads, and I am using some I had bought from Shipwreck Beads that were vintage, I believe. Yeah, vintage seed beads. These are Venetian. I thought they were okay for this project. They are not consistent. I normally, if I'm doing bead weaving, use things like delicas or Japanese seed beads. Now they're more consistent, like Toho or I forget the other name. Anyway, yeah, Japanese seed beads are the best. These are vintage Venetian, and they're a little inconsistent in size, but and some of the holes are not good, but they're not bad. They're not bad for this project. Okay, so with that, you have to make 8 of these legs, and they're all the same. So I've already made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I thought we'd make 2 together so I don't take up too much of your time. Very easy. We're just going to pick up a seed bead, maybe. Oh, and also, this is what's called a bead on it board that I'm working on here. And I've had it for a long time. I had bought 2, and this one was still in the wrapper. The other one has stuff piled on it. And so, yeah, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, obviously. I just, you know, have a lot of jewelry stuff. So, because I like to make jewelry and cards. So jewelry was my first crafting passion once I knew I was going to be retiring from my old line of work, which we won't go into right now. Okay, there's the seed. See, some of these seed beads have, the holes aren't big enough. This one just doesn't want to play. No, that one's not big enough either. Let's try this one. There we go. So there we go. All right. So you do seed bead, bugle bead, seed bead, 3mm bicone in a color of your choice. If I had matching deep purples or blues, I probably would have used that. But I had some in some things, but not in the others. And then seed bead, size 11, bugle bead, and seed bead. And the bugle beads again are 6mm. That means the length this way. So for example, this is a 6mm round bead, and you see the width is the same. Okay. So now what I do, you want to make just a plain loop. So I kind of put my fingernail, thumbnail under there and bend right above that seed bead, and then put your finger like this. You want the loop, oops, oh yeah, everything's sticking to me. You want the hole to be, the loop to be pretty small, but leave yourself enough room. You can always cut, and then hold on to that so it doesn't go flying. And then bring in your round nose pliers, and you're going to go just like this. I'm hoping you can see. Okay, sorry, I'm out of practice for this. I kind of turn my hand backwards and get a hold right down at the tip. Grab it tight, and then, oops, and then twist. And you want it to close really good. And I bring in either these bent nose pliers or chain nose, and just make sure it's flattened out good. And actually, I usually go back in and what they call break the neck, pull it around, and then just wiggle that closed again. And that straightens it out. And there we have it. Oh, it's bouncing. This is going to drive me nuts. Yeah, it's going to bounce. I'm sorry. It's probably because I have so many things here. Too many things. It doesn't know what to focus on. And ruining my nails. Alright, let's pause. I'll be right back. Okay, let's try another one. See if we can stop it from bouncing, and I'll try and watch the screen. So one seed bead, one 6mm bugle bead, another, whoops, not that one, another seed bead. Oh, there, we're bouncing again. And then a 3mm bicone, Swarovski bicone if you can, because they're a little more sparkly than other brands. But if you can't, you can buy other crystal, Czech, or even Chinese. Some of them have a lot of sparkle. The problem with those is they're also not consistent in size. So there we have our head pin before we do the loop. Again, I'm going to take my thumbnail, bend it right next to that bead. Take my finger sideways. It's about 1/4 inch is what you want, or even a little less. And I'm going to throw that right in the trash because, okay, and then I'm going to bring in my round nose pliers, turn my wrist upside down. Am I in? Focus, focus, focus. Wrist upside down. It's not going to focus for me. It did for a second. Alright, you want to hold that bead there if you can, as best you can, and twist, pull it around so you have a loop almost. This one might be a little too big. Break the neck, you just put it back, your round nose back in, and then bring it down towards the tip and close that loop. You want that loop to be tight. And actually, I'm not super happy with that, so here's a tip. Open it back up a little bit. Take your cutters. Sorry, it's so blurry. It doesn't like the shiny metal. Anyway, you're going to just snip a little bit off of there. Okay, not a lot, just a little bit. Then bring your round nose back in, which you can't see. There we go. And then my finger's all the shape of beads, and then pull it around in a loop. Go back and break your neck a little bit again. Not your real one, please. And then I don't know if you can see the loop. Of course you can't. There we go. It's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Well, see, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, especially if it's coming to jewelry that I'm going to sell. So we want to really make sure that's wrapped in there tight. That's better. Doesn't want to cooperate with me. Come on. Come on. Doesn't really want to cooperate with me, does it? I have black on me everywhere. Anyway, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now you need another head pin. You're going to put on a 6mm bead. Now you need to make sure that your bead will not come off the head pin on the bottom. If the hole is too big, you may need to put a seed bead underneath there to help hold that on, and you can do that. And then we're going to take one leg and another leg. Now in the Fusion Beads tutorial, they use a seed bead, but I, to make it more sparkly, use a Swarovski crystal, 3mm. I think that made it bigger though, so you may want to use just a seed bead, and we'll shape those legs in just a minute. So now we're going to put another one on, and another one on, and another crystal. So it's pretty easy. Now I have seen other ways of doing this, where you use one piece of wire, and I like that one too, actually, but I'd already started this way. And I like that one because you didn't get two floppy kind of pieces like this. All right, so I have my crystal on, so the last two legs, and we will shape these like I said. Oh, now see, this one is not good. I have to fix this. I'm glad that happened. I don't know if you can see this, but the bead was sliding up and the loopy is kind of messed up. Yeah. So, I don't know why. I have black nail polish all over my hands apparently. Yeah, I haven't been out anywhere to have my nails done in like eons. So let's see, is that not closed? Not closed apparently, or that loop wouldn't be going up there. So first thing I have to do is straighten it out. It's kind of bent, and then take my round nose pliers, go in there and push that all the way around, go back in, break the neck, and get that loop down in there again. And then bring the flat nose in, or chain nose, and straighten it out. Do you see how much better that is now? Yeah. I can see it. I hope you can, because I'm not the important one here. Okay, now we grab a 10mm round, and that's his head, or its head. It's not a him or a her, it's an it. It's a cousin it. Okay, Now we're going to do a wrapped loop before I shape my legs even. You want to hold that down pretty tight. To do a wrapped loop, I use the very tip of my chain nose and I bend this over, because what you want is just a little bit of room right there. Okay, then bring your round nose in and put them in. I don't want it to be a real big loop, but big enough that an eye pin can go in. And so you see how I have them above the loop, and bring your rest of your head pin back around, then turn your pliers so that they're holding it there. Actually, you should do it like a lollipop. Bring this around and then bring that circle even there. So can you see it's like a lollipop? Focus. I'm using a webcam. It's not the best camera for jewelry tutorials, but it's all I have, so I apologize. There we go. And I actually would like that to be a little bit smaller circle. So what I'm going to do is pull that a little bit tighter and push that around a little bit. And actually maybe twist it like that a little more, trying to keep my lollipop look. Lollipop, lollipop. All right, now I'm going to grab that loop with my chain nose pliers, grab the end here with my tip of my bent nose pliers, and twist around. This makes it secure, but also if we get these wraps all the way down to that 10 millimeter, hopefully, it'll help hold all those little wobbling legs in place better. Trying not to bend my head pen. Okay, that's pretty tight. And now we're going to snip that off. Let me make sure. I'm going to try and go just a little more. I'm sorry, I'm out of frame probably. Going around the back. You can release and hold it on the other side. And I'm sorry if that's hard to see. Okay, now it's still a little loosey, but that's okay. Now we're going to try and snip that little end off. I have to get that little end up so I can get my little cutters in there. Now if you have a crystal next to this, you need to be really careful that you don't break your crystal, because if you do, guess what? You're starting over. Trust me, ask me how I know this. So I'm going to use my bent nose and go in and push that little sharp end in as tight as I can get it. And there we go. Now we have to shape our little spider legs, right? We have to shape them. Get in shape, spider. So these bottom ones we're going to kind of pull down, and then we're going to take hold right at that crystal and bend it downwards. This is wire, remember, so you're the boss, you tell it. Now the next two we're going to sort of leave going out straight at the top part, and then just bend slightly down. So make sure I get the right one and bend slightly down. There we go. Now the top one we're going to bend upward, and we're going to bend upward here as well. There we go. And then this one again, we're going to leave it out straight and just sort of bend it upward. And there we have the spider part. Not very hard, see? Oh, focus, focus, focus. I'm sorry. Why won't it focus? Bring it closer. It's still not focusing. Anyway, all right, so now we're going to do a little extender piece here to make it dangly. You don't have to do that. You can just hook the spider right onto the ear wire if you don't like real long earrings. And so we're going to take another, we're going to take an eye pin this time, which is like a head pin with a loop on the end. If you don't have any eye pins, but you have 21 or 20 gauge wire or 22 gauge wire, you can make your own just by doing a little loop on the end of the wire. Kind of the way I just showed you how to do the loops on the legs for the spider. Okay. I just didn't like the way that one. Okay, so I have some sparkles here, but they're from little bits. Okay, so we're going to make the end. Now, in the fusion beads, they did not have seed beads on the end here. They just had, it's the glare, I think. Hang on. Ooh. I don't know. They just had the 2 bugle beads. And when I was doing the loop up here, the bugle beads are very fragile and they broke when I was doing the loop. So I decided I wanted to have a seed bead there. Now you can break seed beads too, but not as easily, I don't think, as the bugle beads. So I'm going to use 1 seed bead. And these are silver plated. You could also use eye pins and head pins. You could use sterling silver if you wanted to. I don't tend to use sterling for holiday-ish kind of things that people are going to use like once a year. I just don't, because it gets it too expensive. Even with the Swarovski crystals, it might be too expensive. So you may be better off using like a Chinese or a Czech glass crystal. Okay, so there's our piece. Now we're just going to do a simple loop on this one. So we're going to put our thumbnail there, bend it, put our finger there, cut it off again, about 1/4 inch. Bring in our round nose. I bend my hand backwards so I can get a hold of it, sort of right at the end. Maybe a little bit down from the end, and then roll. And then that one's a little loppy. A little loppy loopy. I'm going to cut that off a little more actually too. It's too big in my opinion. I actually like doing wrapped loops better. So sorry about that. So now we're going to wrap it again. A little bit bigger. There we go. And then I'll come in, break the neck. I'm going to flatten that out a little bit. And then make sure my loop is closed. And there, I don't know if you can see it, there's our loop. Oh, I know why I have black on me. I'll show you that later. It's stickles. I thought it was nail polish. I'm like, I thought I dried my nails okay. It's actually stickles. Sorry. I'm like, I'm upset. Why is my nail polish like that? Okay. Now we just have to open the loop. I'm going to use the eye pin loop end. Open it up. You can use either end. Put your little spider on. And you want to open it, the loop, like you would a jump ring, towards you or away from you, but not out. And then you're just going to come in with the tip of your chain nose or your bent nose and wiggle it till it closes, just like you would a jump ring. And there is that. Now, little bonus, I'm going to show you how to make your ear wire out of one of the eye pins, because I want to add a crystal on, a 3mm Swarovski crystal. We need to have a little more sparkle, you know. So there we go. So see, this is what I'm doing. This was from an eye pin. Okay, I know it's blurry, I'm sorry. There we go. Well, I thought I had it there for a minute. There we go. Give up, Deb. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I have to figure out a way. I need a different camera setup. Okay. So now what I do is I come in. I'm going to put it flat like this for the moment. And I know that's not how we want it. I'm actually going to come in right above that and bend it towards me. Okay. And just the tip of your pliers. You don't want much. Then I'm going to bring these in. Now let me make sure I know which one I use. I think it was this one. Yes. These are bail making pliers, and there's different loops. Behave, spider. Behave. Behave, I say. There we go. Spiders don't behave, do they? Okay, so now... Did I do that right? Oh, yeah, towards me. Okay. I brought it towards me. And now I'm going to put this in so that my bail making pliers are with the one I want to use on top. And the bead is hanging down here. And we're going to bring this over and down. Simple as that. And then let's take it off. And then I usually do both at the same time, and I didn't do that so I could show you. And then the difference between chain nose and flat nose. These are flat nose. See how they're flat? Chain nose come to a point. They're both smooth on the inside. Smooth on the inside, but these are flat, and I love these for making ear wire. So I'm going to come down here right about there and just bend, and it makes a nice flat bend. Then the one I'm doing, I'm going to come in and at the halfway point, these are 2-inch long eye pins, halfway point roughly right about there, holding my hand over, I snipped off about half of that. Now that's going to be sharp, guys, so you need to either use an emery board, or this is called a cup burr. I don't know if you can see it has a little burr thing on the end, and we're going to put that on the end of the ear wire and turn it in one direction, and that smooths that out a little bit. Keep going until you don't feel any rough pieces, because you don't want your ear wire cutting your ear, right? I don't. I don't. Now you could also put a little rubber thingy on here to help hold your earring on. Okay, one more or two more steps. First of all, let's check it and make sure we're even, because we want to hang even here. Pretty good. I might have to cut a little bit more off the other one now. I think I cut this one a little shorter, but pretty good. Okay, so now you see this is facing forward and the opening is there, and I want the opening in the back. So I am going to just bring this down and twist this so that now it's all facing the same direction, if you will, right? And I actually got that bead a little looser than I think I got this one. No, they're both a little loose. Okay. So now we're going to open this just like a jump ring again, and then put that on our spider and close it back up. And that is our pair of spider earrings, except I have his legs going wonky. There we go. They're not behaving. They're trying to be wild and free. So now, one other thing, and I can't really put this on, but I have this matte stack of glow-in-the-dark Halloween paper, and I only had 2 sheets like this. I don't have it out. I had gotten it in a D-stash, so I'm not sure where it came from, so I apologize. It's just one-sided, and it had spider webs on this side. So originally I was going to use that side, but it looked a little too busy and the spiders didn't show up. So I thought, why not? Now this is still a little wet. See, here's the other one. So I cut it in half. I just cut this in half to get two 3" by 4". If you have Halloween, oh gosh, Project Life cards, I think they're called, you could use those. These are cardstock. These are not paper. All right. And then I used a corner rounder. Corner round, corner round, corner round. This is from EK Success, which I'm sure I got at Hobby Lobby some years ago. And then I just took black stickles, black diamond, which I've had in my stash for a long time, and went all the way around and just kind of hand sketched a spider web on. Now this one doesn't have holes in it yet, and it's still very wet. This one I put earring holes in. Sparkle by Monica, I had won this from her along with three other ones. This is an earring hole card maker, and it punched the 2 holes for me. I may not use that for the other one because I think I don't want to put my spiders on here right now because the stickles are not quite dry, but I think they'll look cool. Let me just lay this down and get my spider going here and show you that this is going to go through the hole there, and this one will come over here and go through the hole here. It might be alright, but they're going to be next to each other. I might put the holes a little further apart within the spider web on the other one, and yeah. So that is my little Halloween sparkly spookly collab project. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was enough, Monica. I don't know. First time participating in this collab, so, and I know I've seen some of her past ones, and she showcases a whole ton of Halloween jewelry, so kind of feel bad if I was supposed to do more. But I think they turned out pretty cool, and yeah, try them out. If you want them to be a little less wiggly, maybe use the seed bead in between the legs, and really try and get your loops nice and small to go over your head pin, and that will help them stop wiggling so much. And now my hand is going to help me clean my little mat up and put these things away. And I wish you all a very sparkly, not too spooky Halloween this year. Have fun. Go check out the other collab participants. They will be listed down below my video. Happy Halloween. Bye.